Hello and good morning. Today I wanted to harvest some potatoes and talk about it when it is time to harvest potatoes. A lot of people have troubles seeing or knowing when potatoes are ready to be harvested. These ones are my broad beans and my potatoes in the field, and they're still having flowers and are very green, so they will stay in the ground for another 1 or 2 months. They're not ready to be harvested. Then you can see some sad potatoes here, which are starting to have yellow leaves. That's a good sign that the plant is finished with making the potatoes in the ground, and they will be ready for harvest in about a week. And then we're going to move to the pot for today. Yes, very sad potatoes. So these have yellowed first, and now they have dried up, and these are really ready to be harvested. The potatoes in the pot are done growing, the plant has died down, and of course you can take up a green plant, but you will not get the same harvest from a plant which is still growing compared to a plant which is finished growing. So that's a good sign to not be too early with harvesting them. And if you want to store potatoes, sorry, it's quite windy today. If you want to store potatoes, it's really important to let the plant die down, and the skins of the potatoes will settle and become more firm, and that's important for storage over the winter to be able to replant them or have potatoes during winter. So if you plan to store them, don't be too early with harvesting. This variety is called Blå Congo. In English that's blue Swedes most times. They're quite common in Sweden, and they are not an early crop. So I would say they're a main crop. And one of the reasons why I plant them in pots is because they have the same color as my compost and dirt, so they're hard to find in the ground, and it's much easier to find them in a pot. And as you can see, these ones are quite scabby. That happens if I don't have the time to water them properly when the small potatoes are growing, when they still have very thin skins in the first 2 weeks of setting the potatoes. They need to be watered to avoid the scab. And this pot had a very sunny place and was drying up very quickly, so I will have to live with some scabby potatoes. But they're good to eat. It's just for storage, you don't want to have scab on them, because that's the entry point to go rotten, and if I have to keep them until mid of end of April to mid of May to be able to plant them. That's a long time in the root cellar. So for storage I will want to have less scabby potatoes, and I will have to dry them. This one is splitting too, but you can just cut the split away, and it's still good to eat. Sadly, as pretty as this variety is, they're very prone to splitting and scab. So we will see how much I get from this pot, and if there will be any potatoes with no scab. Otherwise I still have 2 other pots of the same variety, and I will hope that there is less scab inside to get some storage potatoes. I tend to not buy potatoes for planting them. I mostly use my own harvest to replant, because you never know which potato sickness you introduce with store-bought potatoes. And seed potatoes, the ones I can buy here, are often kind of boring, like yellow outside, yellow inside, no flowers. And Blå Congo is a very, very good pollen donor for breeding, and it's setting berries like crazy. So if you like to breed your own, that's the empty shell of the seed potato. There's nothing inside. And a worm. Yes, here they are. Lots of small worms. That means the soil is healthy. And if you find seed potatoes like this, when you empty a pot, you know that all the energy of this potato has gone into the plant. Lots of scab. That's sad. I really have to pay more attention to watering. Scab. More scab. Split. Yeah, I'm having one tiny potato with no scab, and that's too small to keep it for a seed potato. You will not get a good harvest from a seed potato with 2 eyes. So that's where the for seed potatoes I like to take this size, but that's too scabby to last long and to survive winter. So no seed potatoes from this pot. I will all go to the kitchen. At least they're a good size.